We're back, baby. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Kharma's Card Reviews. I'm your host, Kharma, and today we're going to be reviewing the Bicycle Nightmare Before Christmas card deck. Before we begin, I just want to say a quick note. I'm sorry for the long hiatus. College kind of kicked my butt this year, but we're back and better than ever, and I'm ready to get into the review. First things first, I want to credit my dad for getting me this deck for Christmas this past year. I absolutely, just looking at it, I love the colors, and I love the Nightmare Before Christmas movie. So this is going to be a fun review, and I hope this one is going to be just as filled with references as the Theory 11 Elf deck. Without further ado, let's get right into the review. Whoop, that's better. Now, first thing that I'm looking at is the nice holographic purple foil that you'll see on there. You'll see that it's very shiny, and it appears both in the name, Bicycle, but also on Jack and Sally in the center of the moon right there, and the border of the box, and also even the hill that they're standing on. I want to say that I just really adore the front cover imagery. It's very simplistic. It really only has a couple of images of the main central moon, the characters, and the hill, but there's also a couple other small details like the cobwebs in the corner. Let's turn her over. The back has no silver foil. It's rocking a plain purple, dark purple, white, and black color scheme. But you'll see we have that symmetry that I always love to see. And it has jack-o'-lanterns on it, as well as more of that cobweb imagery, and even these curly cues that kind of symbolize like old iron gates to a cemetery, which I really like. Looking at the side, we see the title of the deck, which is the Disney Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas card deck by Bicycle. On the other side, we have air cushion finish, which we always love to see, and made in the USA. And we get a cute little foil spade and border on that side as well. On the top, we have the Disney logo, and since this one doesn't have a stamp seal, probably because it was already package wrapped in plastic, we can just open her right up. All right, let's get this baby open. Ooh, first things I'm seeing is there's a nice pattern with skulls in purple and lavender on the inside of the box. That's really nice, and I always love it when card decks do that. Bicycle definitely does that. Like, one deck that comes to mind is like the Moana box, but also other decks do it too, and Theory 11 also does that too. All right, so let's take a look at our jokers. We have a cat in the box. He's a little crank-up, scary cat in there. And the other joker is a jack-o'-lantern in a box. I like this because you can tell that they're two different suits. One is black and one is red. I'm assuming the black one is the black and then the purple one is supposed to be the red. And that kind of gives a hint as to what our red cards are actually going to look like, which I really like. And if you'll see, they have crossbones instead of dollar signs like typical Bicycle decks do for the jokers, and I just really love that detail. Moving on to the Ace of Spades, oftentimes the most detailed or second most detailed card in the deck. And we have a similar image to the front of the box, which is the image of Jack and Sally in front of the moon on their signature hill. And you can kind of see that they have a different font than the regular Bicycle font. You'll see in the corners, it's definitely more like typewriter than like the best way I can describe it is it's closer to Times New Roman font than it is to Arial font. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. And you can see how they decided to do the spades, which is giving it this little curly cue at the bottom, definitely making it more Tim Burton style, which I really enjoy. Moving on, we have the Two of Spades. And not only are we keeping that cute little curly cue for the bottom of the spades, but we have that font, which is nice and curly and, again, spooky and Tim Burton-esque. But if you can't see it, there's a little spider dangling from down there, too. That's really cute. I guess not cute. That's really cool. Moving on to the 3 of spades, we again have those curly Q spades, and instead of a spider imagery, we have, it looks like the boogeyman with his like screaming face in there. You can kind of see it right there. 4 of spades, we have a nice jack-o'-lantern face instead of the boogeyman face, or maybe it's just a screaming victim face, who knows. But it's a screaming face, and this one is a jack-o'-lantern. 5 of spades. Oh my gosh, they really do have imagery on every card. I love that. Next one, we have a little cat. It's in the same light gray style as the spider was, and it's just sitting perched on the upside down spade in the bottom corner. 6 of spades, we have a similar one to the 4 of spades in that it has a jack-o'-lantern face. First face card, and we have the dog. We have Pluto. I think that's his name. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know. But the dog from Nightmare Before Christmas. And look, he even has a like cute little orange nose. They actually went with a different color, which is really neat. I really like that they introduced a whole different thing. Ooh, our next face card, you can probably already assume who our queen is gonna be, though you may not have assumed that she was gonna be the queen of spades. We have Sally! And this one I really like, because they got every color on her, which is kind of rare sometimes. Most of the time, if you see a deck of cards, especially like from Bicycle, not to call them out, often they will just have a couple colors and stick with those. So it's actually really impressive that they introduced an orange with the dog, and they have the red, the yellows, the greens, the blues for Sally. I'm really impressed, and I didn't expect that. Plus, I really like the borders that they have going on in the background. They had the border for the dog too, and I really like that. Our king of spades, you can probably guess again which character this is gonna be. Our one, our only, Jack Skellington! They went with black and white for his character design, which makes sense because that's how he is in the movie. It looks really sleek, really nice, and I really like how they did the art style because it would be kind of hard to translate to 2D because it is a 3D animated movie. So it's really nice, and I really think that they got his like smirk well and his arms crossed, and I just think that they did like his limbs, his torso, even his bow tie really well done. Our ace of diamonds, as I kind of expected, it's not as detailed as the ace of spades, because like I said, typically those are like the most detailed card in the deck. But here we have the ace of diamonds, and I was right, we are going for purple instead of red on these cards, which I really like. I also really like the shade of purple. It's kind of like a musky, I wouldn't say lavender, but it's definitely like a musky medium purple, which I really like. So you can see that this one has cobwebs in purple. Then we move on to the 2 of diamonds. The 2 of diamonds, we have that screaming face that we had earlier on. And again, side note, I love the font. I really do. Here we go again, and we have the jack-o'-lantern face on the 3 of diamonds. I really like that they decided to put some designs in the actual symbols because it's something that translates well to every single card. Because they did it in a white design, it shows up perfectly whether you have a purple or a black card. So I think that that's really neat. It's just a small graphic design detail, I guess, but that's something that I like to notice. Next, we have bats for our 4 of diamonds, and these ones are a light purple, and so I'm noticing that on the black cards, they went for a light black or a gray, and on these, they went for a light purple. 9 of diamonds, we have kind of a torn apart spider web. I wonder if it's supposed to tell a story. You know, at first we started with just a spider on one singular strand, and then it goes to like a little web, a big web, a whole web on like some of the other cards, and now it looks like it's kind of been incomplete or maybe even torn apart by somebody else, which I think is really cool. Oh my gosh, and we have one of the little spooky kids for our Jack of Diamonds. Oh, I really like that. I was kind of curious if they were just going to repeat the dog, Sally, and Jack throughout each of the face cards, so I'm really glad that they didn't. Look at that. Oh, I love that. They gave him his lollipop, his mask, and his giant creepy smile. Oh my gosh. The other 2 better be the other kids, or I'm gonna riot. All right, okay, we're going 2 for 2. We have the other kid, and they even, like I said, I'm really impressed by the amount of colors because they colored in the mask. They even colored in the sockets around her eyes as a dark blue, and they colored in her outfit as pink. I don't know if you can see the eye sockets, but that's really neat, and I really like that. Okay, next one, we have our third kid. So I call it, I knew they were going to do all 3 kids, and I really like that. We have him also with his mask off, which is really interesting. And we have his hair shaped like devil horns, and we have the red and orange theme right there. Next, we have our King of Clubs, and we have, I think, one of the scariest characters in the film, if I'm being real. We have the Boogie Woogie Man. So he has his signature dice. He also has like the coolest like scene in the film, although it scared me definitely as a kid. But I really like that they have his dice and they colored him in his signature color. That's really nice. Okay, for our Queen of Clubs, we have the mayor of the town. That's really neat, and I really like that. I was not expecting to see him, so I really like that. They gave him his ribbon and his happy side. I wonder if they'll have his scary side somewhere in here. Our Jack of Clubs, I was just going to say this, so I should have said it, but I was hoping that they were going to have the scientist in here. He also kind of scared me. Just his entire design kind of scares me with like his bald head, this also like part robot, and then he has like that creepy like lips kind of. So this guy always kind of scared me, but there we go. We have him right here. Can't be scared of him if he's on a card. You can quote me on that, I guess. Here we move on to our numbered cards of the deck, and we will start off with our 10 of clubs. And here we have a jack-o'-lantern face. Our 9 of clubs, we have a spider hanging off of a spider web that he made. 8 of clubs is another jack-o'-lantern. Our ace of clubs is regular with some spider webs, similar to the ace of diamonds. Now we have our king of diamonds, and we have a returning character, Jack Skellington, but this time he's in his Santa outfit. Our queen of hearts. Here we go. We have a little side character, creepy Mickey Mouse, kind of. Oh, I was wondering if you were going to have this guy, Jack of Hearts. Well, since we had Jack Skellington dressed as Santa Claus, why not have the real thing? You'll see they really made him fat. Oh my gosh, he's literally just a circle. That's hilarious. And I understand that, like, he's only a circle because, like, you know, the top is that and then they mirrored it. But my god, they did not do him right in this card deck. We have our 10 of hearts, and we have one of those full spider webs in the center of the card. And again, I love the purple that they chose. 9 of hearts, we have a screaming face, very tall mouth. 2 of hearts, we have a spider on a singular strand of silk once again. And our ace of hearts, which is basic with some spider webs. Very nice. Finally, we have an ad card. We have the title, the signature hill. It basically mirrors the front of the box, which is really nice, but it has inverted colors, which I think is cool. And of course, the back matches the back of the cards. Overall, I really love this deck of cards. I can't choose a favorite part, but some things I really commend this deck for are the color scheme. I really like that they went with like purple. They could have gone with blue or navy or something of the sort, but they went with like purple and black, and I really like that. I also commend them for having a different design on every single one of the cards, even the number cards, which is something really rare and you don't always see. So I really like that. And I also really like that they had different characters on all of the face cards as well. They had a different character on each one, except for Jack Skellington, but they didn't have him in the same pose or even the same outfit, so I count it. Reviewing this deck has really gotten me into the mood to watch Nightmare Before Christmas, so I'm probably going to do that right after I end this video. Plus, as you kind of saw, I need to refresh my knowledge on some of the characters' names. I'm kicking myself for not knowing the dog's name. I want to say Roscoe or Pluto, but either way, I remember loving the movie, even if it was a bit scary for me as a kid, and I absolutely love this deck. So thank you, Dad, for supplying this deck, and you guys be on the lookout for my next video. I certainly don't hope to take a couple months long hiatus like I did this time. Sorry, guys. But my next card review, I plan to watch Beetlejuice and review the deck of cards. I want to watch the movie this time because I actually don't think that I've seen the movie all the way through, and I want to be prepared for when I give an accurate and really good review, really high quality. Is doing a Q&A video where you guys ask questions and I answer them. So be on the lookout for that, because I might here soon make a post where you can ask questions either on my Instagram, which I will put in the description, so please go follow that if you haven't. And also, I might make a post on YouTube itself that you guys can just make comments on, and I will try to fit in every question, but if not, I will choose the ones that I think are the most unique and the most liked, probably. So, like I've said probably 5 separate times in this video, be on the lookout for my new content, and I hope you enjoyed this review. I know I certainly did. Bye!